Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to actually show you a look that I kind of just came up with. I didn't really have a plan before I shot this look. But first I want to say Merry Christmas Eve. Today is Christmas Eve as I'm shooting this video. You probably will not get this video until tomorrow, which I can say Merry Christmas to you and your family, from my family to yours. I shot this look and I really didn't have a plan with what I was going to do, but there were some palettes that kind of been hanging around. The CoverGirl True Naked palettes have been hanging around my makeup drawer, and I wanted to be able to kind of use those a little bit more and show you some different looks with those palettes. I am going to label everything and show you throughout the video what I'm doing each step, and I'm also going to show you with different little markers what I'm using in the video and what color and where I'm putting it on my eyes in the video. Most of the products that I'm using are drugstore products, or it was in a haul from TJ Maxx or Marshalls. You guys always know that I'm going to tell you, make sure that you hit that bell button down below. Like I said, I'm going to reference everything in the video to kind of give you a good tool to shop by if you're interested in these products. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you have not. We want to constantly grow with our YouTube family, and you know, you guys get a lot of good eats and treats this holiday. I'm actually on break, so I'm enjoying some time with my husband because we're both school teachers. If you have not visited Shop Vault 28, make sure you get there. There's a huge 50% off sale going on right now at shopvault28.com. That is our online store. Also, if you're not following me on my social media channels, make sure that you follow me there. Always putting lots and lots of products into my Instagram stories. If you would like to direct message me there, or even in the comment section down below. Make sure to tell me what kind of looks you guys want to see more coming up. A lot of these products are drugstore products which were bought at CVS, Walgreens, or Ulta. I really like the way this look came out. It was very simple. It was not a lot of stress on me. Sometimes I get a little bit stressed out when I have to figure out what I'm going to do and doubting how it's going to turn out. But you know, like I said on my Instagram, if you follow me there, I'm walking into 2019 with a lot of courage and a lot of hope that there are going to be more things to grow on this YouTube channel, more things to grow on my other social media channels. And Delightfully Styled is my blog. If you have not gotten a chance to visit that place, I say run and get there and check out some recipes, family photos, some fashion hints and tips, and makeup and beauty and skincare. There's a whole cauldron full of things, but I'm ready to get to this video and show you how to achieve this makeup look. So keep on watching. Okay, so first we're going to start with this Lanolin Rosehip Oil, which I've really liked a lot. My face has been washed. I have exfoliated my skin, and I've already done my brows and cleaned them up. And I'm just going to, you know, give a couple of drops of this and rub this generously into my skin. I really like the effect of the collagen and the vitamin C. It really kind of tightens up the skin, and you know, this is kind of for like an anti-aging oil, so I really like what it does to my skin a whole lot. Next, I'm going to go in with the Honest Beauty Matte Prep and Prime. This is sold at Target. I think this has kind of been at the top of my list when it comes to primers. I've had some pretty decent primers, but this one mattifies me down the most. I rub this all over to my skin, especially in my T-zone. I tend to get pretty oily in my T-zone. I'm kind of like combo oily, but I really like this. And like I said, I think I want to say this tube is a little bit more pricier on the drugstore side. It's about $21.99, but this was sent to me in a PR package. But I really love it. I'm going in with this e.l.f. Prep and Blur Stick, and I'm just kind of setting up my pores. I have a little bit of bigger pores around my T-zone and under my eye, so I'm going in with this stick to kind of blur some of those pores, so my makeup looks a lot more seamless, and it's put together a lot more well. The foundation kind of finds its place and lays there and just acts really nicely on my skin, and I kind of just pat that in, and my pores are even large on the edge of the tip of my nose, so I just give that a good pat before I start adding any products, any type of eyeshadow or any type of foundation to my skin, and just get my skin ready for all these different layers. So I'm going in with the Milani eyeshadow primer, which I really like because it gives an invisible finish on my eyes. You can still kind of see the veins in my eyes a little bit. It looks like a cream that may kind of show a cast, but it actually does not show a cast. I really like this Milani eyeshadow primer. It's kind of up there a little bit with some other primers. One primer I have on my list to try next is the NYX Proof It. But this one does a really good job. It's very affordable, and I think that it's definitely worth a try in the drugstore. I want to say that this primer was less than $5. I bought this one at Target, but I really think it does a great job with holding the shadows in place all day long. So I'm really excited about using these CoverGirl True Naked palettes, and this is one of the palettes that I'm using here, and it is the Chocoholic palette, and I'm going in with that light bone color there to kind of just get it all over my eye, my lid, and prep it for shadows. I'm using my e.l.f. brush. It's a concealer brush that is pretty freaking amazing, and it does a great job with just kind of distributing the shadow. It's just kind of like, you know, just that base shadow that you want to kind of get the eyes smooth and ready before they get ready for some type of stronger shadow colors to kind of go into the creases. I just want to make sure that the area is nice and even and that it's ready for a crease color and to kind of deepen as we kind of finish this look out. So here I have my Tarte Princess palette, and I'm going into the color Angle, which I'm glad that we put a marker there for you if you own this palette. And I'm going to use this color as my crease color because it's just one of those transition colors. It's kind of on the more neutral side. It does show up on me. I do have to build this color up a little bit, but I just wanted to kind of start with a little something in my crease to kind of warm it up and give it that just that something was there, and that there is a crease color there that is kind of gonna be as a matte for the rest of the colors that I'm gonna lay there. And guys, I always say this about eyeshadows: you have to constantly blend. You're constantly blending your eyeshadows to make them seem as though they are just blended seamlessly. And I had to learn that very early on, and I still am a blender. I'm still trying to practice to make sure that I give eyeshadows the best color payoff that they can have. So I'm constantly blending the eyeshadow, especially in your crease. It has to be buffed out. It has to make sure that it's blended out very, very well, and that it all looks like it's almost airbrush. So here I'm going into the True Naked Sunsets palette by CoverGirl, and like I said, this has been these are pretty affordable. I want to say they're less than $12.99, but I'm gonna add in a little bit of pink into that crease, a little bit of a deeper pink, and I really like the colors in this palette. You have to, like I say, start off a little bit small. Don't overdo putting too much on the brush at once, because if you put too much on the brush, you won't be able to control the color. So just make sure that you start off with a little bit, and then you kind of work your way up into the crease and building up the color, because if you put too much on the brush at one time, it's just going to kind of start off as a disaster, and you have too much color there and you don't really know how to distribute the color or make it look very even. So you notice that I keep dipping back into it because I'm trying to distribute as much color as I can without overdoing the color, but I still see my crease color peeking out above that color that's in that Sunsets palette. these are some really good shadows. I've heard mixed reviews on these shadows, but I definitely think that these shadows are, you know, worth the money. They're very pigmented. You can layer a lot of colors with this shadow. I definitely think that they did something great with this particular line. I think there are 2 more in this line, but I only picked up these 2 because these are the 2 palettes that were talking to me. So I definitely think that they're worth a try. I definitely think that. So I had to give them a try for myself just to make sure, to see, you know, what the reviews were saying. But it was definitely more positive than negative. So I enjoy the palettes, and I wanted to give them a little bit more work. Then I've only used them now for like the 3rd time, but I wanted to use them a little bit more just so you guys could see the quality of these shadows up close. As you can see, I'm continuing to build that color up, and I can still see my crease color peeking out above that color, which was something that I wanted to do. And all of that will get buffed out as soon as I continue adding these layers into my eye. There I'm using the Loreal Infallible paints, which I really like a lot. These are like a liquid eyeshadow, and I'm using the pink. It's a pink and blue side. They have different ones. I'm using that very light pink color there to kind of have a brighter lower lid, and I'm just kind of using that as a base, like a, you know, a matte base, kind of just to start more shadows to hold on to. You know, anytime you're going to use a little bit of a more sparkly or a more frosty shadow, you need something that is going to hold on to, that's going to make it stand out a little bit more. So I kind of pat that in just so that whatever shadow I lay on top of that is going to grab that kind of wetness, that base that I have there. So, and it just kind of make the shadows pop more. So I'm going back in with this CoverGirl Sunsets palette, and I'm taking those 2 colors, which was a lighter pink, a lighter pink, and a little bit of a darker pink, but they were both like a frost type shadow. So I'm going in with that over what I have already, which is the L'Oreal Infallible paints, and I'm kind of layering that as much as I can. And guys, like I said, you have to take your time because colors will change on you as you're adding them to your eyes. So I've never done this look before, but I definitely wanted to try it, and I felt like it definitely was going in the right direction, and it was something that I was definitely getting excited about just because it was turning out better than I expected. And so I'm just using a flat elf brush there to kind of lay the shadows down. I don't have any really hard angles on that brush. I just took a flat brush and I sprayed it. And see, I'm going in with that 3rd color there into the Sunsets palette. And I'm going to take that elf brush, is kind of go deeper into my crease. And I want to darken my crease up a little bit. And I want to blend out any harsh lines that the 2 shadows had between each other. And that is what is key when you are working with shadows. You have to continuously blend and blend. And so I'm taking a darker color to kind of add a little bit more dimension and that kind of gradient effect to the eyeshadows. And I really just love how this is coming out. And I'm actually going to go back into my lower lid and lighten it up a little bit more, just to kind of give that really beautiful type glow to my eyelids. And once again, I'll say go little by little, because when you go little by little, you continue to have more control over the shadows. You continue to be able to lay the shadows where you think they should go, and they're not really kind of acting funny on you or moving in different places that you don't want, because it's very hard to kind of fix shadow mistakes, you know, once they're out there. So I'm gonna blend and buff and blend and buff, you know, these until I get there. So I'm gonna take this color here, and that's the color I was going into the crease with, and we're gonna lighten up that just a little bit. See, I'm adding that frosty type color back just a little bit to make sure that I see that kind of going from light to dark, light to dark. I really think that this is when the look started really to come together for me. I always think looks get even more beautiful when you add in your lashes and you continue to buff out the look, and then when the foundation starts to go into place. And you guys know that I do my eyes first and then my foundation second, because there's fallout, and there's fallout on my face right now. I'm just ignoring it because I want to get done with the eyeshadow look. So there, I'm buffing it out to make sure that it's all seamless and that it goes together and that it works. See, I'm showing you that there's fallout on my face. So I'll take a makeup wipe and kind of clean that up a little bit so we can go on with the foundation. But first, before I do that, I'm going to go back into that color Angle in that Princess palette, and I'm just kind of adding that color back to the top just so you can kind of see those 3 to 4 colors that I've used on my eye and how it's kind of stair-stepping one another. And if you guys are wondering what I clean my brows up with today, I use actually just a 99-cent brow pencil from the drugstore, and I'm gonna highlight my brow with that color there, which is called Enhance. And I use a 99-cent brow pencil, and I clean my brows up with the Maybelline Master Conceal, and I use that e.l.f. concealer brush to clean my brows up with, which I absolutely love. And I also use the Angled Brow Brush by Essence to get my brows really, really in a good place. I always say, get you a good brow brush. So I'm going to put on a little bit of black liner here, and this is the NYX liner pencil in Very Black. And I love this pencil. You see it's gotten very short because I use it a lot, and it is getting shorter, and so it'll be time to purchase a new one. But this pencil glides on really nicely, and the formula is very nice, so I don't have to pull on my eye quite a bit to put it on, so it's really comes out very nicely for me. Here I'm using the Loreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. This is actually like day 3 of me wearing this foundation. I have to be honest, I was using the Physicians Formula, and I still love that foundation so very much. But this one came in the mail. I ordered it from Ulta, and I was pretty surprised by this foundation. There was a time in my life where I had to use a full coverage foundation, but this coverage here is more so light medium, and you know, I'm excited about being able to only use a light to medium coverage foundation, and I don't have as many things to conceal in my face because my skin was really in a bad place. But the thing I love about this foundation is the price is right. It is less than $15, and it is very lightweight, and I really like the smell. And normally most foundations do not have a smell, but this one goes on pretty evenly, and I don't have to really add just too much of this foundation to my skin. I've kind of given up on those high-end foundations, and I am really enjoying these drugstore foundations, and this one is pretty nice. So I'm blending that in with my Tarte Kabuki brush, and that's one of my favorite foundation brushes because it evens out the foundation pretty nicely. I'm going in with the NYX finishing powder in the color Banana, and I'm just going to go all over my face with that. I really like the finish that this gives, and I'm just going to kind of seal down the foundation so that it locks it in place, and the foundation is kind of, you know, ready to take on the day. And one thing I noticed about this foundation is that it really kind of mattified down my skin around my T-zone. I was still a tiny bit oily towards the end of the night, but it gives a really good wear most of the day, and that was surprising to me most of the day, that it just mattified around my T-zone and just really kept me really dry. Here I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me, and this is gonna be contouring with this in the color Coconut, which is 355. And I really like this. I just chose a color that was much darker than me, and not too dark, but was a couple of shades darker than me. And I'm gonna go in with my True Beauty brush and just kind of buff that out. I know there are so many ways that we could do a contour. This is to me considered more of a soft contour, just to kind of add that color into my face. On top of that, I'm gonna layer a little bit of a contour palette by Wet n Wild, and here it is in the color Dulce de Leche, and it's really pretty. It kind of goes on with this nutty color, so it's really nice, and I really like the color payoff that it gives. So here I'm going in with my Kiss lashes, and I want to say that these are in the name Updo. I'm not quite sure on the number, but I really like this, and I'm using the Allure glue, the Allure glue, so I could glue them down. And this is a white glue. I have both. I can use the black glue or the white. Well, because I wasn't going to line my eyes today and make a wing liner, I wanted to use the white so it could just dry down clear, and I wouldn't have to worry about doing a black wing liner on my eyes. So here I'm just kind of prepping the lashes and getting them ready so they can kind of start working their way, the glue to get tacky and kind of dry, because you can't race putting these lashes on or they will not stay. That glue has to kind of get a little bit tacky and kind of dry itself down a bit so it will stay in place. Believe me, it took me forever to learn how to apply lashes. Literally, I know some people do not like them, they will not try them, but don't be afraid to wear lashes or red lipstick. So if I can learn, you can learn. Here I'm going in with the Makeup Revolution in the color C10, which I've been using the L'Oreal Pro Glow, and I really like the L'Oreal, but this right here I love, and it's super creamy. I love the color payoff, the highlighting quality that it gives me underneath my eyes and in different areas of my face. It is really nice, and so I'm going to work on this while my glue is getting a little tacky and kind of drying a little bit. And I just hit those certain areas that I want to highlight, and this kind of lately I've been kind of hitting it on the mark with finding my color and just finding what my skin will match or what will look good on my skin. Sometimes I get a little bit nervous about looking at something online and then ordering it, not being sure that it's going to work for me. But lately I've kind of been hitting it on the nail when it comes to foundation choices or concealer choices that will kind of look good on me. So I've got a damp beauty blender right here, and I'm just going to kind of work in this concealer and get that all worked into my skin. If you notice that, like I said, I'm enjoying the color quality and just what it does and how it highlights that area. If you have not tried Makeup Revolution, I say give it a try. I think you will absolutely love Makeup Revolution's line and everything they have to offer. I know they have some very affordable palettes that I own, at least 3 or 4 of them, and they're really, really nice. And a lot of their concealers are very high-end quality with a drugstore price. So I'm blending all that in, and I'll go in and bake in a little bit. Before I bake though, I'm going to put on a little bit of blush. I've been tending to lean more towards that's my e.l.f. concealer brush. I'm cleaning up the corners that I can't reach with the beauty blender, which is why I say this brush is insane good, because it just gets in all those little places that I can't reach with my my beauty blender, and I just love it because it just hits all those little creases that you can't normally reach. So I'm getting my eyelashes ready, and I'm using the CoverGirl Clump Crusher, which I love because it just doesn't go on all goopy and thick, and it's just getting those eyelashes ready to kind of go with those kiss lashes that I have here. And I know everybody has their brand of lashes that they really love, but Kiss lashes are just one of those very affordable lashes that give you high-end quality. And I just think that for me, it's easy going. I can find them and I love them. Here I'm going into my MAC Studio palette, which I love, and I like using those colors, which was the deep brown and the pink there, and I blend them both together to kind of get what I need, that look that I'm trying to achieve. I have not baked yet, but I will. I do my baking a little bit more towards the end, and I'm gonna bake with I'll show you in a second, but I love this powder, and it is very close to my Maybelline Fit Me powder, but my Maybelline Fit Me powder is just so creamy, so nice. At one video I called it Diamond Dust, but it is just really nice. But I have been enjoying this Maybelline, I've been enjoying this Rimmel Stay Matte. And here I'm going to flip it around to show you that. See, I'm halfway done with this container, and it is very affordable. And I kind of let that sit there a little bit and bake a little bit. It doesn't give any flashback, which was a #1 for me. But I'm going in with these lashes, and I'm going to kind of speed it up a little bit so you guys won't have to just watch me put these lashes on, because like I said, these lashes can take some endurance. So one lash wants to act a little bit silly on me, so I have to reapply a little bit of glue, and I'll just go ahead and get myself dusted off. And then if you notice, just look how the airbrush quality of that Rimmel, I just so in love with it. It's messing with my contact, so I'm trying to make sure that I get the glue fixed and get the glue off the lash. So while I'm waiting on that to dry, I'm going to go ahead and dust my lower line with the same color that's in my crease, which is in the Sunset CoverGirl's palette. Okay, now I think we're ready. So I'm kind of marrying my lashes with the Kiss lashes just so they don't show it underneath. And I'm hitting my lower lashes with a little bit of that CoverGirl Clump Crusher. I'm really enjoying that color that's on the bottom of my lids. I know you guys can see the white glue. It will clear away, I promise. I just have to let it dry a little bit. And these lashes were very affordable. The pack was actually 4 pairs of lashes, and I want to say it was less than $9, which to me is a steal. So I'm going to go into this palette here with the color Stellar, and this is actually a drugstore palette, but it was bought in my TJ Maxx haul. And it is called the Pro Glow Face Palette 8 Color Highlight. and it's really affordable. I bought this at Marshall's and it was $4.99 for those highlighters. So I'm gonna highlight my inner corner of my eye with the color called Stellar, and it's more of a goldy tone color, and I just love it because it just gives just that little bit of something that I need to highlight with. And this is it. See you guys on my next video. Bye. If you guys did not catch my first vlog and the shenanigans with my family, I say make sure that you give it a look and let me know what you think about hanging out with us in our first vlog.